Okay, we are now live, and we're going to start with Bitcoin on the monthly. Always monthly levels we're watching right here and right here, 82,000. These are the levels you're watching on the monthly. I do expect a pullback to these levels at some point. We have 71,000, we have 65,000 about, and we have 35,000, 45,000. If we do get an 85% correction, which Bitcoin typically does, we could see price come back all the way down here. So just keep in mind that there is likelihood that Bitcoin does come back down to these levels at some point. Let's say even if we went to 180k to 190k or even 200k, 85% still takes you back down to these levels. So there's no rush to FOMO. This is cycles. This is what you watch out for. So we do expect price. Whoops, something went wrong. Reconnect. So if we do see a push higher, there is possibility we do come down eventually at some point. That's why you don't get attached to anything. Like, trend goes in both directions. We uptrend and we downtrend. And given that we've been trending for almost 943 days, which is about close to 3 years more or less on Bitcoin. So an uptrend will usually turn into a ranging structure to a downtrend. So we're still uptrending. A ranging structure would be pretty long, and I don't know how long the ranging structure would be. Let's just like go to the Coinbase chart, where we could have a ranging structure if you were around for Bitcoin around this time for almost 900 days, right? So this is something you just got to keep in mind. So you're not just so attached to, what did I just do? So attached to the price, right? So let's go back to the original chart we're watching, and these are the levels we're watching. So now we're going to push it to the weekly. So now we have some weekly resistance here at 119. I do expect something to pull back here on Bitcoin. I would like to see what happens at 119, and if we do come back, levels I'm watching is from here to around here on Bitcoin. We even have weekly support right here at these levels. So that's what I'm just watching out for, primary weekly support on Bitcoin if we do start to reject. And the idea more or less would look like something like this if we do reject. But if the trend is continuing higher and we start to push within the daily time frame, which I'll cover, then we expect up as of right now. There's no reason to be bearish, right? Until we get maybe weekly closes back below the ranges here. And the structure of the range would be probably weekly close here. And then if you get a weekly close here, then you're watching weekly closes here and here. And then how structure is playing, depending on how the weekly closes, you can start to identify we have a breakdown in structure. And if we're retesting it, those levels should play very clean if the downtrend is true, right? If the downtrend is not true, then we are expecting higher. Because usually it would not respect. Usually levels are very well respected in the direction that you're trading the trend. And if you're not trading the trend correctly, right, and those levels are not respecting, that means that the trend is actually just a lot, is going higher, for instance. That's why we did see rejections in certain levels, for instance, for Bitcoin. Hi, Holly. How are you? Had someone join and just left. Not a big deal. Okay. And JL is here. Hi, JL. Okay. Daily. So what we know on the daily. Well, we know, so we'll just mark out this level here at 119 is tested. You can see they tested 1, 2, 3 times, and they didn't confirm to close above it. If we do close above this 119 level, you are expecting it to act as support. So let's say you close above, right? And then you close, you test it, and then expectation would be new all-time high, right? That's what you're looking for, a new all-time high on Bitcoin, just looking at the daily time frame. As of right now, we are still pretty much in an uptrend, for instance, that we are holding higher highs and higher lows, and this is probably a higher low relative to here, right? That is trend. So we could still expect it. As of right now, the daily close is not the best daily close right now, given that we did close below this swing here at 117.36. You close below, it didn't give a nice retest, right? But we also have to look at the downtrend within the structure as well too. And more so, what you have to understand is that the range here is tightening. So we're either going to get a move up or we're going to get a move down. That's what you have to understand when you know if the higher lows and higher highs are playing within the structure. So what do we have to watch for right now? So I don't know why my trading view keeps doing that, but sorry about that. So I'm going to remove this daily level here. I'm not really interested in it until we're closing it, but we have an untested daily level, which sort of coincides with that weekly level at 119,000 to 119.2K. So one of two things. We know there's a possible downtrend here, right? So you have the high, you have a lower high here, and then you want to see maybe this is going to be a lower high relative to here. So there is a possibility. We have to push this to the 4 hour, right? Because we're going to be looking at the structure more locally right here. Where is the price going to reject here? We have 4 hour resistance here, and then you have 4 hour resistance right here, right? So if price was going to reject, I do expect it to reject around 118.3 to 118.7. And if that is true, and if we do reject, what I do know is that these levels here are tested. Oops. Sorry about that. I was going to draw something. These levels here are tested, especially here. If you're looking at the daily, right? They cleared a lot of the liquidity in this range. So there's no liquidity here. And what do I always say? When you're looking for liquidity, you're usually looking at the daily or weekly levels to find the next liquidity, right? And we use the open candle closes to understand where the liquidity is. So when you see this price structure here, there's no liquidity here looking at it on the daily time frame. It's just air. So we're not interested in touching anything within this range. So we have to use price structure on the left-hand side of what we built. And what is the next daily level? It would be coming right here to 111.6K, right? Because you did close strong above it, right? And this is where the liquidity is. If you look at the volume, for instance, the most volume comes within the open and closes of the candles. So the structure here is fine, but what I do know, if we do start to push down on Bitcoin, the dump is going to be bringing us, hopefully, from those 4 hour levels, for instance, to down here. That's what I do expect, and that's what I think could possibly happen if we do start to reject, right? Let's say, for instance, on Bitcoin, you come down, you start dumping, right? And then something starts finding support here. Let's say we do get a random bounce here. I'm not bidding here, right? But there is the possibility something within this range can hold. I don't have an edge here as well too, but I do have an edge if we do close back above the range, for instance. So let's say we come down here, price is chilling, it's going up, down, up, down, up, down, whatever, right? What you're really interested in is, let's say if you do come down to these areas and then you get a daily close above that 117K level right here. So let's say this arrow here closes above, you get a daily close and you hold, right? Retest. You have support to work off with. You have price action to work off with. then your expectation would be coming to that next daily level. And if you do close above that, hold that, new all-time highs, right? So you don't have an edge here. You have an edge over here, right? We have an edge here. We have an edge over here, right? That's what you are waiting and being patient for as of right now. So that's what I would be looking for to play on Bitcoin, right? More and so important is that I would be looking for support here and within these price structure ranges, for instance. We even have support here, for instance, as well, too. Yeah. So that's what I am looking for right now on Bitcoin. There is the possibility we could dump a bit, given of how extended some things look like on Ethereum or Bitcoin, for instance. There might be people longing the top, for instance, expecting 400,000 like idiots, but we're not like that. We are just waiting for the edge, and we're waiting for the best move. So that's what I currently have right now for Bitcoin. Just watch out for these levels here. If we do start to fail again, and we start to get closes maybe below here on the 4-hour time frame, you start to close below here, and you start to close below here and here, then the structure is probably shifting towards the downside, and we may see that at 111K. But just be vigilant of maybe some type of bounce here or something, right? Be vigilant, and if it doesn't look so good, for instance, what happened was at, let's say, 71,000 or 70,000 here, people were looking to long here. I was looking to long here, right? But what happened? We didn't get that long there, which is okay. But what did happen is that you could have played it here, right? That was a level you were watching, right? At 80,000. You closed below, and then what happened? You got to close back above. And when you get the close back above, then you would be like, okay, it's time to long again because you fail to lose, right? Yeah, that's a good area to long, right? That's what you need to be watching. And this is on the weekly time frame. So you're using the weekly time frame to catch the gauge of the better moves. You're not gonna catch the bigger trends. For instance, looking at the 4-hour typically, or the 1 hour, you're only gonna catch them on the higher time frame. So that's what you need to look out for. As of right now, I would be cautious here, of course. I would not be longing here trying to go to 130,000. Maybe if you do get closes above 119.2, then you can look for longs to maybe above 123,000, for instance. That's the idea. So that's what I have for Bitcoin. As we move on to Ethereum, is there any questions before I push to the next chart? Hi, Steve. How are you? Holly, any questions? JL Tops? Nope. Okay. Forever hold your peace. So we're going to start with Holly would like to speak. You could speak. What's your question, Holly? Or do you took away that? You can speak if you're not gonna troll. I haven't seen you in the group before. You can ask a question, or if you'd like to speak, you're more than welcome to. Oh, he's legit. Okay. If you want, you can ask a question here, or you can speak. Do you see Bitcoin going to 100K again? Yeah. I wouldn't FOMO. Like, you want my honest opinion of will Bitcoin ever go below 100K? Is that what you're asking? Just from yeah. I honestly think Bitcoin will go below 100K again. People are greedy, man. People are greedy. This is just from my experience. Even when Bitcoin was at This is just from my experience. I've been here since 2016, for instance. Like, you have to understand that we're going to go back to 2017. People here at 20,000, 13,000, 10,000, they're like, Bitcoin's never going to go below $10,000. What did it do? It went to $3,000. People say the most stupid shit. It's never, there's no such thing as never, you know? Even here, people were like, it's never going below 50K, 40K. What did it do? It went all the way to like 16, 17K. Now, what are the people saying here? Bitcoin's never going below 100. Same story. It's never going below. And I have this tool here. I actually marked this out. This is a anchored VWAP from this trend. So if you look at the monthly, I'm actually using this tool to get a gauge of how overextended price is. And I want you to just keep in mind, it's actually funny how I have this on the Coinbase chart. So I'm going to clear the Coinbase chart. So, oh no, I did not want to clear that. I just want the anchored VWAP. Okay. So this anchored VWAP is basically from the trend here all the way. It's the start of the trend from here basically to the all-time highs, right? That's your trend. And I want you to understand one thing. So you can see the blue being the average price of the anchored VWAP, right? You have the top of the anchor range. You can bring this VWAP into bands and multipliers where you could see how extended it is, right? So we have projections of 135. So maybe even if you take a standard deviation of each VWAP, for instance, which is 20%, maybe if you go 20% higher, maybe to 160, that is very possible. But we're very overextended. But I'm going to remove the other bands, right? Because I only like to focus on these two. So, for instance, if price just from the anchored VWAP, if price starts trading below the green, the top green, it's going to come back to the bottom green, which aligns with the monthly level at 45K, which I've been seeing for a very long time, which is right here, right? I honestly think it's going to go below that. I think 35K might be the bottom, but we'll see. The reason why I like 35K, because this is the trend that took you all the way up here. But yeah, I think the bottom will be around here if it is ever going to come back here. Doesn't have to. I might be wrong. But going back to your question, will Bitcoin go back to 100K, below 100K? Yeah, I think so. And just to keep in mind, because if price does come back to 62,000, 60,000, they already tested the VWAP here, right? They tested the blue line already. So if they come to test the blue line again, yeah, I do expect a reaction, but I do expect it to come back lower, right? That's what I'm looking for. I do expect this blue VWAP not to hold, given how overextended we are already. Yeah. This is good, man. Like you could have bid this perfectly on. I know some exchanges, for instance, I think on Bybit, for instance, or some other exchanges, it ticked the VWAP here to the exact dot, like perfectly. It very cleanly ticked it because each exchange has different volume. So that's why I am watching this, because everything comes back down to average eventually. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to push it to Ethereum. And altcoins are a different story than Bitcoin, given that Bitcoin is going up a lot. Maybe Bitcoin is close to topping. So, but doesn't mean that for Ethereum or the other coins. We might see other coins push up more. So, this is tested here. and the monthly is looking very strong right now on Ethereum. We have 10 days in the month, and I'm going to be marking the monthly levels that I am interested in. Oops, not that. The purple lines are the monthly levels I am currently interested in watching, for instance. And given how the monthly closes, we do have a lot of monthly support to work off of as well. So we are in a cluster of monthlies right now, which are tested. And Ethereum, if it doesn't reject here, we do have another 25% more to go to maybe even new all-time highs. I don't know how high it's going to go. No one knows how high it's going to go. You can use projections with fibs, of course. But let's say if you do, the current market cap, I think, is like, what, 450 billion? What if we get 800 billion or whatever, which is probably like 20-30% more from here, for instance, from current price, or 40% more. Maybe we see $5,000 to $6,000 Ethereum if we are going to push higher. But if we go to the BTC pair, for instance, there is a lot of room for this thing to outperform Bitcoin in the long term, given on how the monthly looks as well too. If we do close monthly support above here, we have 13,000. Yeah, it's definitely possible. If we close above monthly here, I do see price actually pushing all the way to 260% more. So going back to the price again, where price currently is, what is 260% from here? 260, 13,000 about, yeah. What Top said about. So yeah, we could see a $13,000 Ethereum this cycle. Would I be rushing in to buy here at this given moment? No, I would not be rushing in to buy here. Why? Let's go back to my other chart. Let's go to a clean chart. Why would I not want to be rushing in to buy here within 10 days within the month, right? Think of it very logically, right? This is your range. You have the top of the range. You have the bottom of the range, right? Which is right here. Are you going to buy the top of the range expecting a breakout? Are you going to buy high? No, that's stupid, right? So we're going to look for the monthly supports. Maybe we're going to have to wait for a pullback. Maybe the pullback can come back all the way down to 2,900. Then we push higher, for instance, right? There is going to be a retest of some sort. But I'm not buying up here expecting 13,000 right away. I'm waiting patiently for a pullback. Then you can buy your spot bags and then you can get long. There's no reason you should rush into anything right now. It is the most stupid thing to buy right now thinking we're going to go right now. No, it doesn't happen right now. The monthly is the slowest moving candle. We have time. We're patient with it. We're slow with it. And we're using the monthly time frame to catch the bigger moves. You're not going to catch them on the smaller time frame. I keep repeating myself. So that's what you have to watch out for instance. So wait for the monthly close in 10 days, 11 days. And once we get the monthly close, then we can reevaluate. I don't know where the monthly is going to close right now. I really don't. So that's what I'm going to be watching out for. Okay, so this is what I currently have for the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. I'm going to get rid of the top range ones as of right now. And we're going to just look at the weekly candles of support, which is 3,600. You still have untested weeklies from here. That's where it's currently rejecting. Right here. And you have a weekly here as well too. Weekly retest could come to 3600, right? And maybe push up a little higher. But I'm more so interested in something a bit lower. We have a lot of weekly support we could work off of, honestly. We have tons. And I'm just marking the ones that make the most sense to me as of right now. So this is what I would just be watching for on the weekly. So we'll just push it onto the daily so we have a better idea of what was tested off of that weekly. So this one was tested, so I'm going to remove it. This one is not tested. Maybe I'm missing something. That coincides with the monthly. You would want to watch this one too. And then you have weekly support here. Here as well too. That's it. I don't know if price is gonna come back to 2,500. It would be very shallow, but if it does, that'd be crazy. Be a lot of volatility. Yeah, I would wait, to be honest. Because looking at the daily, what am I working off of? I'm just working off of the price structure here. I think you're gonna get a lot of sideways, possibly on Ethereum, a little bit of sideways until we have a better picture. And right now, the only closest weekly level of support right now is at 3,600 level. You even have some weekly support here as well too. Yeah, 36, 30. Wait, I think I marked that, and that one was tested. Yeah, that one was tested, so I'm not watching that. My mistake. Yeah. Let's just see what happens at this 36 level. And if you hold it, you're pushing from here to here, at least. You get above this. Maybe you hold it above on the daily, for instance. You push, you're probably getting continuation higher to the 4,600 level. On the daily. You got to watch for the daily, see how the daily reacts at those weekly levels. I don't really have much to work off of, to be honest, because it's just going parabolic, and that's why if you miss the move, for instance, right? If you miss the move, you just have to wait at this point. You can't rush into it. Look for other things to get into. Your risk is higher unless you're looking at it on the daily or 4 hour, for instance. You probably have structure you can work off of, for instance. I guess the 4 hours, the only local things that I'm really watching, which would be right around here. And then you have local structure around here, right? Bottom range is tested. Yeah, top range untested. Tops posted a chart. What did he post? Yeah, you just have to wait for the monthly on Ethereum ETH BTC chart. I do agree with your levels though. Yeah, it could reject around the 0.5 sat area, but the consolidation is going to lead up for a higher move. It's going to reject, but it's going to probably consolidate. Like what chart, the chart he has basically around the 0.5 sat. It's probably like this is what I'm looking for, honestly. Let's say you do close, you hold. I do expect some type of rejection around here. And there's some consolidation before higher. That's what I'm looking for. Because I don't think it's going to go in one shot. There's going to be some sideways bull flag or whatever people call it. Similarly, like something like it's the ETH BTC chart is going to do something like this, in my opinion. Right? Okay. Let's go to Solana. Gave a nice weekly retest here. We'll do a clean chart. Okay. Where did it bounce from? It bounced from right here. What's wrong with my coin trading view today? Okay. Bounced from 158 it's pushing for new highs. It's actually looking pretty decent, to be honest. Let's just go to the monthly. Test it. We have untested monthly support. Yeah. Untested monthly support here, and we have monthly support here at 231. I do see some type of rejection here coming around 200, 231, and then depending how the monthly closes, I would like to see it ideally close above here at 189. And if you close above 189, depending what they test or do not test first, I'm looking for the push to 231. Above that is new all-time highs on the monthly. If you close above 231. If you are looking to get long, let's go to the weekly. Weekly close was nice. Wow. Okay, so basically you sort of missed the weekly retest already happened here on Solana at 178. So it very much so can go now on Solana, but if it doesn't go down and if it gives a pullback, you have another weekly support at 175. So watch out. Let's look at it on the daily. It's already tested it off of the daily. So this very much can be the move to continue right now for Solana. Let's see what we can work off of here on the daily. Daily closes, what you would want to see for bullishness would be daily close above here at 183. And that's tested. So if daily close above 183 is good. If it comes back to 175, you could probably catch a bid there as well too, but it's pumping right now as we speak. You just had to watch for that weekly close. It gave the weekly close. It already gave the retest. It's already going. So let it go. Maybe just go straight to 202. It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't go here. It's okay if it does go here. Would I long right here right now? No. Would I short right here right now? No. So just be patient. It will find you. The chart will find you. Let's see. So I also have weekly support as well here at 167, which is fine. If we do start to go lower, I'll always make an update, but I'm only marking things more locally. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for Solana as of right now. TIA, I can cover TIA. Yeah, TIA could be a good short maybe. It's up a lot, man. People are just riding the wave. They're just buying and just hoping it goes up, and that's what's going on. Let's go XRP first. Okay, so this is what I was talking about last week. I said FOMO is up here around 371, and that's what happened. FOMO is up here. So let's just cover what happened. So we did make a new all-time high. You have weekly support here. You have weekly support here. You have a lot of weekly support on XRP. Can this go to $10, $6, $7? Yeah, very much so. It's XRP. We know what it could do, right? We very much know very much what it could do. Given if you've been around long enough, this chart does not have enough history. But when it does, actually, does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Whenever it was at 10 cents, it does a big leg up and then it never goes back down there. But this very much so. I just want you to keep in mind. Look at the structure. Let me see if I can find a better chart. I think Bitstamp has the best history on XRP. It has the most history, actually. They've been trading this forever. We're going to just go back, give you a little history lesson. I was around at this time for XRP. So keep in mind. So this high spikes down, and consolidates. Goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, right? Right, went all the way to what, $3 about the first time? Went all the way $3, came back down, right? So this very much so, what has happened in the past, could be something very much so like that or whatever, right? Before it does a very big leg. Because this is a lot of money, man. A lot of money has to come in for the price to go up here. So it's not going to go up in one shot, for instance, but it could. So that's why we're not going to FOMO, right? You don't FOMO. You're just going to wait. And where you're waiting for, going back to the original chart I was marking, was the weekly levels of support. Let's go to the monthly real quick. We have 10 days in the month. If the monthly closes good, which it currently does look good, your retest you do want to see a retest into 299, and then you can get the expectation of around like $6.60 about. That's where I am ideally looking for XRP to go. So wait for the monthly close, see what happens, and then you can get your retest. Trying to short here is stupid, in my opinion. You have no edge if you're shorting here. If you do want to get long here on XRP and be like, okay, it's just going to go, I would have a very wide stop loss above 334. That's where my stop loss would be if I was going to just say, fuck it, market long, go. Just me. That's my opinion. You don't really have much of an edge here. I would just wait for the long on the weekly or the monthly. So yeah, if you want to get a better long just for confirmation, maybe just wait for the daily close above this level here. Right? Maybe make a new high, close above, go. That's all. But the consolidation here could be something that goes on for a long time as well. What comes up comes down. What goes up, down comes up. So that's pretty much for XRP. We'll cover TIA. TIA. Okay. TIA actually is coming up. There's some weekly resistance here at 237. These levels here are all tested. I'm looking at $8 as a primary target. But people got to understand, yes, it is bouncing right now, right here. Right? But what if it just comes back down and consolidates more? I don't think this is enough consolidation for it to just go up like that. It could, but I think it needs more energy to go before it goes up. So let's just look at the monthly. And on the monthly, for instance, given that we have 10 days in the month, I don't think this candle is going to close bearish, but if we do come back to that $1.37 area, $1.38 area, that's a good place to get long. Let's look at the weekly. Even down here, $1.68, I would look to get long. If it gives a pullback, this is the main idea. If you come up, you maybe go sideways. If you get a pullback into this area right here, just watch what price action does. And I think this is a fantastic area to get long because you're just hoping that this is support. And if you do continue higher, maybe making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then you break out. I don't think it's going to just go one shot, to be honest. It could. But wait, be patient. It could come. And if you do get weekly closes, for instance, here, let's clean up the chart, right? Let's just understand the trend. This is the move up, right? And you came all the way down, right? So ideally, if you start to close the weekly above 242, it's very likely that the low is probably in. And then maybe we do just get a consolidation like this, for instance, right? It can just consolidate there as well too. So just keep those scenarios in mind. It either comes back down here, consolidates, comes up and consolidates. It's one of the two, just whatever comes first. And then you have the better defined risk, right? You have the better defined risk. Then it goes. Got Steve typing a message out. Any other questions, concerns? Maybe I need to figure out what I should eat for dinner. I still haven't ate. It's 8 o'clock. I am exhausted. Are we looking for Doge pullbacks? Yeah, Steve, I think I remember you brought up Doge, right? Last week. Last week it pumped, right? Yeah. Let's look for the Doge pullbacks. Where would the Doge pullbacks ideally be? Well, we have 21 cents waiting for the monthly, right? We're currently at monthly resistance, Steve, right? So we're at monthly resistance, so we gotta be careful. Just keep in mind, who the fuck is looking on the monthly chart on crypto Twitter? Who's looking on the monthly and marking this? Why do you think it tests so perfect? No one, right? So, okay. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly close was nice, right? Because the weekly close is holding right there, right? That's the... Whoops, that's not... I want to convert this. I want to change its gender to weekly, right? You have weekly support here. And weekly support here. So it gave a weekly retest here. Let's push it to the daily. The weekly here at 24 cents coincides with those daily levels around here. How high is this going? We have weekly support here. Resistance here. We have weekly resistance here. 46 to 35. It could bounce here and go. If you were going to long here, for instance, you market long, stop loss 26 cents, and just ride it. If it doesn't, I honestly interested in either 24 or 23 cents for a pullback, whatever chop go. Gotta understand, you see how it's basically it's a fucking straight line, right? Excuse my language. It's a fucking straight line. You think it's just gonna go straight line forever, right? What happens? The straight line consolidates, pulls back. Straight line consolidates. There's gonna be some type of consolidation for you to get long, and this is on the daily, right? So just be patient, man. You have the weekly levels, so just watch for those weekly levels. I think those are the best. That's your best bet, and see how it goes. And you just take a jab, Steve. I hope you got long though. I hope I didn't discourage you not to get long last week. Did I? Because I said a lot of things look really good. I think I went over like fucking 8 altcoins or some shit. Yeah, no, I try not to. I just, because like I say, like, yeah, wait for a weekly level retest, and sometimes it doesn't give it, right? Right, so today is the 20th, so it was on the 13th. We were probably around here. And you had a daily close, right? And that was your entry. After closing above here, you had support basically here, and your stop loss could have been at this low. But this test, what's a this test? I don't have any daily level here. What is this test? 74. We made a low, close above. Oh yeah, it sort of coincides. Didn't get the best retest. Thanks, Holly. Appreciate you joining. Holly's your friend, Tops. So yeah, mentee. What's a mentee? Is Holly a girl or a boy? I never see a girl on Twitter or on Discord. Oh, you mentor him. Uh, okay. Like a mentee. Okay, I got you. My bad. Yeah, good. Take your profits, man. If you ain't taking profits, someone taking profits from you. Yeah, yeah. Just hopefully, man. Or, dude, you take your profits, man. You made your money on Doge. Look for something else. That's the best advice I could give. You made your money. Look for something else. Look for something. There's always something else, man. There's so many things you could throw your money else into. There's always something that is going up, right? I think that's it, honestly. Oh, maybe Litecoin. Litecoin is a good one I want to cover. Um, I didn't take a look at Tia. I did cover Tia. I literally scribbled all over it. Where's my Tia? I literally drew all over it. I did cover Tia. Yeah, you're probably zoned out. Litecoin. Okay. Litecoin as an RR play, as an investment, is probably interesting, to be honest. Um, I think it's going to go. This is honestly fucking. Excuse my language. I really don't like to cuss. It's just a very bad habit. This is a lot of accumulation here since 2022. Just think of it as accumulation. I think if we do break, we are going to make new all-time highs. We're going to come all the way back up. Where would I look to? If you just want to buy spot on Litecoin, it's not a bad idea. You hold it, forget about it, and you'll wake up maybe 4x richer or even more. Where would I look if you want a clean retest? Well, we're just gonna use the let's just use the weekly. So we have weekly support here. We have weekly support here, which is currently fucking testing. So it's honestly a good spot to just fucking get in long if you want. Maybe take a leverage long, to be honest. You could target the range highs, but expectation is for this will probably go to 200 a coin at least. Targets. Yeah, like Steve, this might be something you could forget about Doge, move to Litecoin. You know what I mean? You made your money, now just you'll make your money here. Yeah, right? Like who gives a fuck? Like, okay, maybe Doge goes higher, so you I don't know if you trade leverage or not, but you have leverage, right? You could still make the same percent that you wanted to make, for instance. Just be careful, of course. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? Like, you still, like, if you do what? 78% on 10x leverage, you'll make 780% on your trade. 10% down from here. Let's see what 10% down from here looks like. Okay, so 10% down, let's say if you 10x leverage, just hypothetical, is going to come back down to that weekly level. So that's why you guys gotta be careful. I'd rather take the 10x leverage long at 106 than I would here, for instance. Unless you're willing to risk it here right now. I'm not advising risk it, but that's what I'm just want you to keep in mind. Yeah, they can't hunt your stop if you don't have, but they can hunt your whole entire account. So yeah, just I moved Litecoin up on my list, so it's something I'm keeping an eye on, of course. I was at the beach yesterday with my dog, and man, I was just so distracted. I was like even saying watch for Litecoin. I even tweeted it. I even put it in the thing. Gave the fucking perfect retest. Ah man. Oh man. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. But it's okay. That 107 level, 106.99 is looks pretty sexy to me. Just looking at it on the daily. Yeah, let's see. It could bounce from here. Very much so, but if it doesn't, you have 106. I really I don't think these range highs are gonna give much of a reaction as a rejection, to be honest. Because it's pretty much fucking tested. This is all tested. We know this is tested, so we just look for the next one tested. Tested, tested, tested. Here. Oh my god. Trading View, what is wrong with you today? And then this is tested. That's why I'm like saying, I'm like, Jesus, like this is good to go. It's like a really it's a really easy double up, honestly. So yeah, just I'm gonna keep this on my list. Maybe I should move this up above Ethereum because I should watch it. Daily. Daily. What can I fucking use off of the daily? It's just so cluttered. Like the daily is coinciding with those, like these daily levels here are coinciding with that weekly level that it just currently bounced off of. So it's like next daily would be what? Here? My eyeball is like trained to see the small shit right here because it's untested. And then you have the local ones here to here, around there. I don't know if it's going to come back down there, but I can see it coming back down to 106. Even here is good. So we'll see. We'll see. It really depends if Bitcoin's a good boy or not. Let's see what's happening. 4 hour. Okay, so it is at this rejection spot here, Bitcoin. So what would the trade setup look like? Right? You could have a stop loss here, but if you want to be stop loss invalidation would be 118. I just put like 119 to be safe. But you also have that weekly daily level above, so it's like you sort of want to watch it. I'd probably put my stop loss like above here. Because maybe what if it just goes like that? Closes back below. You have a retest. And then probably push down. It's like, what if this happens? That'll probably devastate all the altcoins. Yeah. Well, yeah, you already entered Litecoin. Yeah, well, you gotta watch out, man. You gotta watch out. That's why you gotta be careful. Maybe you do want to wait for that LTC retest. So you gotta keep in mind for Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin is what's gonna probably give the clear picture for what is gonna happen. Yeah. You haven't. Good. Okay, but you get the point. Just watch out. Watch out for this on Bitcoin, and then we're gonna go lower. I need to order food. I am starving. 107 on Litecoin. That's the idea, right? And dude, there's a it's like clean. It's currently testing it, but it's like look at where Bitcoin is. It's like Bitcoin is giving a rejection for possibly lower right now as we speak, right? So this area here, depending what happens, the setups for the alts are fucked. Like if you're going to enter now on Litecoin, yeah, tops like Litecoin is gonna go way above 144. It's literally this is all air. It's literally all air until all time highs, in my opinion. It's most likely going to make all time highs. This is not even the complete Litecoin chart. Where's the fucking Coinbase one? There we go. Right? This is good for all time. Like this made a lower high here. There's no way it goes again. Like tested. Here, this is actually better. You flip 163, you're going to all time highs if you want to wait for that. If you're above this price range, you're going up. Until then, you're not. What if we go sideways more? What if we do this? No, we're not doing that. But yeah, just be patient. 107. And then also just wait for the monthly. 10 days in the month. It doesn't have to go right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sell a kidney for Litecoin because it's very clear to me. Like I'm looking for the clear shit. This is clear. I don't need to look for the hectic looking fucking shit. Like this is clear. What's its market cap? It's only 8 billion. Man, oh man. But it's his name, Charlie Lee. I wonder what that guy's up to. He even says buy Bitcoin before you buy my coin. What a fucking clown. Why even make this coin? It's like, why make these coins? You bought something and you're holding a shit ton of it, waiting to dump on it eventually on people. I don't get how it works. Stocks make more sense because you're investing something that gives you a return. This is just supply and demand. Is someone going to be buying higher than you? Most certainly will. Selling Lucid for Litecoin. Oh, my precious Lucid. I love it. Oh, that's the time. My Lucid. My fucking Lucid. Man, they hit gold last week, no? I hope they just never fill this gap and just go. That's the thing. Look at the fucking volume on this thing. Look at the volume. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, because I told you to buy Pico Bottom. You're welcome. I literally gave Pico Bottom. I was like, your risks to reward buying here is literally 0. You're risking like $1 to buy. And then what happened? And then they partnered with Uber. And look at the volume. That's not a joke of a volume for a breakout. That is not a joke volume. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes to $10 by the end of the year. $11. Boop, right here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a big, massive candle. most underrated stock right now. This is Saudi Arabia. This is big money in this company. It's a $9 billion market cap, trading at $3 a share. There's not a lot of coins like that. Maybe like Neo or anything. There's no coin really, a penny stock, that has that big of a market cap at that price. But then again, they announced they're gonna do a 10-to-1 reverse stock split. So a 10-to-1 reverse stock split would put this at $30 a share, and your holdings would be cut by 10. So you would divide that. Let's say you had 10,000 shares, for instance. Your 10,000 shares would be 1,000 shares, but at $30 a share. If Litecoin goes to Lucid market cap, it will 4x. Yeah, they're actually the same market cap, which is actually hilarious. Which one will have a higher market cap first? I don't know. I would have to, if I had to make a bet, I would probably put my money on Litecoin having a higher market cap than Lucid, honestly, because it's fucking crypto. Crypto people just flock to it like sheeps. For Lucid, yeah, there's no way. Yeah, for Lucid, I don't think I'm selling this. Because if it flips 11, just looking at the monthly, flips 11, you have 32, you have 652, you have, this is all tested. So, and you have 25 about. So above 11, you have you have big fucking ranges, bro. But that's from there. From here, these are the stocks so people dream about, for instance, like me. Like the SMCI. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna cut the stream now. So I'm gonna stop recording.